Hello everybody, and in today's class we are going to talk about verbs in German. So before talking about verbs in German, you should know that we have verb in all the languages. If you if you take English, then we have verbs. If you take Hindi, then we have verbs. If you take any language, uh, then you have to learn about the verb, because without verb you cannot say, you cannot convey the message. So what is verb? First of all, let's understand in English. The verb is a word which used to describe an action, state or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence. So basically without verb you cannot convey your message. A verb has to be there. So for example, I have taken here such as like here, become, happen, to go or to come. So all these are example of verb, right? This was in English, right? So let's talk further. If I talk about German, so we have mainly four types of verbs. One is regular verbs, second is irregular verbs, third is modal verbs, and fourth is separable verbs. So there are four types mainly. There are mainly four types of verbs which come under German, right? So if I talk about verbs in German, this map should be open in your mind. Like four categories are there. One is regular, second is irregular, third is modal, and fourth is separable, right? So if you remember this diagram, it will be easier for you to connect in future. So in today's class, we are going to talk about regular verbs only. That means we are going to talk about first part of the verb only, right? So first of all, let's take few verbs, then we will understand the concept of it. Like for example, I have taken here machen, very basic verb, rufen, to call someone, right? Sagen, to say, singen, to sing, studieren, to study, suchen, to look for, tanzen, to dance. For you, I can repeat it again. First is machen, machen. Ch gives the sound of k here. Ch gives the sound of k, right? For example, there is one noun like buch. So ch gives you the sound of k, right? So it's book, book, like machen, k, machen, rufen, rufen, rufen. Then we have sagen, 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 singen, 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 studieren, 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 suchen, suchen, suchen. Again, ch is here. Like here we have ch, which gives you the sound of k. Again we have ch here, which gives you the sound of k. Then we have tanzen, 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 suchen, suchen. It is suchen, it is machen, right? So here I have taken few verbs. I have taken for few more verbs for you, like trinken, trinken, trinken. That means to drink, to drink, trinken. Then we have lernen, 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 to learn. Then we have lieben, lieben, lieben. That means to love. You must have heard this word in, if you have been to McDonald's, right? So when you order some Pepsi or Cola from McDonald's, there you can find that it is written on the glass like ich liebe, ich liebe dich, ich liebe dich. So liebe, I'm loving, ich liebe es, I'm sorry, it says ich liebe es, I'm loving it and not this. It was my mistake. Mm, so lieben is to love, like I'm loving it. McDonald's is tagline. And then common, 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 to come, common, to come. Canon, canon, canon is to know, is to know people and not the information. To know information is something else. That is wissen. The verb is wissen. Wissen is again to know, but that we use this verb we use if we know something, like some information is there. I know, for example, if I say I know the president or the PM of India is, the PM of India is, and then nowadays it is Modi ji, right? Modi ji. I know I know that the PM of India is Narendra Modi ji, right? So here I'm, what I know, do I know someone? No, I know this information, this piece of information, right? So whenever so which verb I'm going to use, you tell me whether I will use canon here or will I use wissen here. So I'll definitely use wissen, because here I'm talking about the information. So if you know the piece of information, you should know wissen. But if I say here know I know Narendra Modi ji, right? So here I'm talking about that person, right? So if I know him, then in such case I will use canon. So although this is it is a very early stage to know about the difference, but still I explained you. Well, let's go further. Let's take few more verbs here. Kaufen, kaufen, kaufen. Kaufen is to buy. Then we have gehen, gehen, gehen. Gehen is to go. Gehen, gehen, to go. Then we have wohnen, wohnen, wohnen. That means to live. Then we have fragen, fragen, fragen. That means to ask. Then we have fliegen, fliegen, fliegen. That means to fly, right? So have you noticed something? We have done so many verbs here. Have you noticed something in all the verbs? Is there any similarity between all the verbs? The similarity is that in German, like almost all the verbs, I won't say all the verbs, but yes, mostly or almost all the verbs ends with en, right? Almost all the verbs ends with en, like machen ends with en, rufen ends with en, sagen, singen, studieren, suchen, tanzen. So here we have trinken, lernen, lieben, kommen, kennen. So all the verbs here which I have written ends with en, right? So in German, you can note down this rule, that in German all in German 99% of the verbs ends with en, right? Exceptions are always there. And if I remove en from the verb, like kaufen is a verb, and if I remove en from here, whatever remains is known as root verb root vr verb root. So if I say what is verb here, so verb is gehen here, verb is gehen, but what is verb root here? The verb root is geh is verb root. For example, if I say what is the verb of to fly, so verb is fliegen, but what is the verb root here? So if I remove en from the verb, whatever remains is known as verb root. So verb root here is flieg is verb root. uh, have you understood the concept between the difference between verb and verb root? So verb root is nothing, it exists only in verb after deleting the en, right? So in German, most of the verbs, I would say 99%, ends with en, right? So in now the next question comes, right? So we are going to discuss about the second part. First we have discussed what is verb. Let's revise what we have done so far. We have done what is verb and how many types are there. Then we are going to talk about regular verbs, and then I have taken few verbs for you. All these verbs are regular verbs, right? Uh, Later we will discuss irregular verbs as well, but for the time being we are discussing only regular verbs. Now, uh, to conjugate, to conjugate the regular verb, to conjugate the regular verb, we need to remove en. So this is step number one. Step one, what we need to do, we have to remove en and put an ending according to the rule. This rule we are going to see in just 1 minute. So there is a specific rule. There is a specific rule which we need to memorize. Mm, Like this rule is for conjugating a verb. Conjugating a verb. So to conjugate a verb, we need to remove en and put an ending according to the rule. So we should know the rule, right? And this is again I have written here, whatever remains after deleting the en ending from the verb is known as verb root. This we have already discussed in our uh, previous slide. So what is the rule for conjugating a verb, right? So this you must learn, right? You must learn, memorize, and you must understand this concept. Okay, so with ish, we have already discussed about the personal pronouns, right? So ish, you already know the meaning of ish is I. So the rule says it is verb root plus e. So we have already talked about personal pronouns. Like here, you know the meaning of ish is I, do is you, but informal air is he, she, it, then we, you, all, you, and they. This we have already talked about earlier in our previous classes. Now, the rule for conjugating is if I'm writing the verb with ish, the rule is verb root plus e. This I need to understand, right? The rule says verb root plus e, and then another is do. The rule says verb root plus st, and you already know what is verb root. If I delete the en from the verb, whatever remains is known as verb root. That you already know, right? That we have recently discussed. Now, uh, so if I talk about he, she, or it, the rule says that we have to add an ending t with all the forms. So ending is e, st, and then t, right? And then here we have wear, ending is en, then ear, ending is t, and then z, en, and then last z, ending is en. Here s should be small. Please keep it small, right? So here are the endings for conjugating the verb. This is the rule. Like you have to memorize. Like with ish, the ending is e. With do, the ending is st. This rule you have to learn, you need to understand. Let's proceed further. Let's take one example. Like if the question is conjugate the verb common. So what is the meaning of common? The meaning is to come, right? The meaning is to come, right? So what is verb root here? What is verb root here? If I delete en from this verb, so we have com as verb root. Com as verb root. So with ish, the rule says verb root plus e. That means I need to add e in com. So com is verb root and add e into it. So it will become come. If I'm writing I'm coming, like if I'm saying in German, if I'm in English, I say I'm coming. Or for you, let me make it very easy. If I say I come, I need to translate into German. I'll say ich komme. I cannot write ich kommen. If you write ich kommen, it will be wrong. I have to say ich comma only, because rule says that with ish I have to write e as an ending. Then it says do const st ending, st st ending, verb root plus st. So what is verb root here? K O double M st, const. Com is verb root plus st, const. So if I give you a sentence, uh, will you come, will you come, or maybe again this is a little bit difficult for you, then let me give you one easy sentence for you. You come. If I give you a sentence, you come, so what is you? Do. And what is come? So I need to conjugate. If I'm use, what is conjugate? Conjugation means if I'm using the verb with these personal pronouns, then I need to use according to the rule. So I will say do const. I cannot say do come. It will be wrong, right? I cannot say do common. Again, it will be wrong, because if I'm using any of these personal pronouns, then I have to follow the rule. And rule says if I'm using do, ending must be st. So do const, right? I hope it is clear to you. But if not, then do not worry, we are going to discuss it further. It says air, z and s, he, she and it, with all the ending will remain t, right? So if I say he comes, if I say he comes, so what is he in German? Air. And what is come in German? K O double M, com. But I need to conjugate as well. So with air, the rule says T. So air commed, he comes, right? Similarly here, it says wear, and then en ending, ear, then t ending, zz, then t ending. If now let me give you a few sentences. You please translate these sentences as a homework. Like she comes. I'm giving you few sentences to translate. She comes, then we come, and then one more sentence I'll give you. They come, right? They come. I'm giving you these three sentences as homework, to that you need to translate these three sentences, right? Okay. Discussing further, let me take another verb for you, like gain. Gain is to go. Now, if I need to conjugate gain, right? What is the meaning of ish? Is I, and gehen will be gayer because ending will be e, and it will give me the meaning of I go. If I need to write I go, I'll write ish gayer. If I need to write you go, you go. If I need to write you go, then I will write do gazed with st ending. If I need to write he goes, then I will write air gate. If I need to write she goes, she goes, then I will write z gate, because z is she and ending should be t. If I need to write we go, if I need to write we go, then I'll write we are gain with en ending, right? So I can give you some more examples, like now let me give you a complicated sentence. Do you go? Do you go? Now here it is a question. So whenever there is a question, verb will come first. Verb will come first, right? If it is a question which starts from the verb, right? So do you go in German? If I say you go, it will be du gehst. और अगर मुझे if I need to write do you go, then this will come first and this will come at second. Then I will write gehst du and then question mark. For example, if I want to say Does she go? Does she go? Then it is a question. That means verb will come first. Then I will write Geh T, gate Z, and why will I write T? Because it is she, right? So this has to be according to the rule. Okay, discussing. Let's discuss further. Another verb I have taken spielen. Spielen means to play, right? So if I want to say I play, then ich spiele with e ending. Du spielst, right? Now I'm giving you a sentence. Mm, do you play football? Do you play football? Now tell me the position of the verb. Where shall I place the verb? It is a question. Hence, it is a question which starts with a verb, right? So, hence, the verb shall come at first. What is verb here? Spiel. Spiel. Now I need to put an ending. So ending will be according to you. Now you can be informal, can be formal, can be you all. So here all endings are correct. I am taking it as informal. You can take it as formal as well. So it will be spielst with st ending. Do Fußball. But if you are taking it as a formal, you this one, right? Then it will be spielen Sie Fußball, right? So this you must understand that which you are taking. All are correct because here it is not mentioned. Examiner can also give you like this: Peter, comma, do you play football? Do you play football? And another sentence is Mr. Sharma. I'm giving you one example. Mr. Sharma, do you play football? Now in both the sentences it say do you play football, do you play football, but this uh, Peter and Mr. Sharma will change your answer because here I'm talking to Peter is my friend, that is why I'm calling him Peter, hence it is informal. So this you is informal, but here it says Mr. Sharma, do you play football? That means I am talking to Mr. Sharma. And here I cannot say, I cannot be informal because I'm addressing him with Mr. Right? So it should be formal one. Another verb I have conjugated for you, Makhan. You can just check it you can just note it down and check and ask if you have any doubt, right? Uh, Now what you need to do, you need to conjugate the verb wohnen, leben. Wohnen means to live. Leben is to love. McDonald's. Like kaufen is to buy, and then bleiben is to stay. Singen is to sing, and lernen is to learn. Right? What you need to do, you need to conjugate these 6 verbs now. Okay, I mean after some time, and then I can give you a few sentences in fact before you conjugate them. For example, do you live in Noida? And we can make it more complicated, like Miss Miss Gupta, do you live in Noida? Next sentence um, is we love Amitabh we love Amitabh Bachchan. We love Amitabh Bachchan. This is one sentence, right? And the next sentence, what you can translate for me is I sing, I sing um, Jan Gan Man. Jan Gan Man. Our national Jan Gan Man is our not national song or national anthem. Okay, you just I'll find out on Google. I'm sorry. Is singer Jen Gunman, right? So these three sentences you need to translate. Plus you need to conjugate these six verbs, right? And I hope you have learned something new in today's class. At the end, I would just say thank you, Danke, God bless you. Take care of yourself, and we will discuss further topics soon. Thank you very much.